Hello viewers, I am Mrs. A.L. Yakavi, Assistant Professor of Mathematics in PC and Research Department of Commerce. Today we are going to see about Introduction to Statistics. In that first we have to basis of statistics. So basis of statistics means how it deals, from which branches it deals. So that kind of details are now we have to see. Statistics is a branch of science used in dealing with phenomena that can be described numerically by count or by measurements. Thus, if it refers quantitative information or the method of dealing with quantitative informations. For example, it may relate to population, birth, fertility, sales, profit, etc. These kinds are the quantitative informations. The statistics does not deals with qualitative informations. The qualitative informations means poor, good, bad, honesty. These are the qualitative informations. For these informations, statistics cannot deals this informations. If possible, it can be represented in a numerical representation only. We can deals with statistics. Analysis of such statements can help in framing suitable policies or conclusions. Whenever numbers are collected, compiled and analyzed, they form statistics. The method by which statistical data are analyzed are called statistical methods. So, here we have some definitions. The definitions vary from different author. Here we see the definitions from the author Bowley and Wester. First, the Bowley says the statistics is numerical statement or facts in any department of inquiry placed in relation to each other. That means the statistics is a numerical statement, that is the statistics. This says Bowley. The Wester says statistics are classified facts respecting the condition of the people in a state, especially those facts which can be stated in numbers or in tables or in the other tabular or classified arrangements. That means we are collecting the data, that is the collection of data is a statistics. If we arranged in some format, that is tables. Collection of data is represented as tables, otherwise arranged in a classified manner, that is the statistics. This says Wester. Next, characteristics of statistics. So, characteristics of statistics is we have some characteristics of statistics. First one is aggregate of facts. Aggregate of facts means we have to adding some items, some figures, that is the aggregate of facts. Statistics deals with a group of facts but not a single item. Statistics deals only the group of items, large items, that only, it cannot be deals single items. That means if we are taking height, the one student height is not statistics. The group of 5 members heights, 10 students heights deals only statistics, deals that kind of facts. That is, the statistical inquiry is to get information from a mass of observation with regards to the group behavior of individual items. For example, the aggregate of figures related to production, sale and profit over different items is called statistics. The comparison also easy using statistics. That means if we take 2005 production means we have one production average. In 2006 we have one production average. We have to comparison between those years is very easy by using statistical methods, right. So, second one is affected to marked extent by multiplicity of causes. Statistics are influenced by number of factors. That means one cause alone cannot be said to be responsible to given data. That means if depends on price, the demand, supply, imports are difference, right. If the prices are high, the demand is low, right. If the needed is high, the price is also high, means the demand is also, the production is also high. So, for example, the price of a product is influenced by a number of factors such as demand, supply, imports, exports, etc. Next one is a numerical expressed. So, statistical statement is a numerical expression. So, the numerical expression is a quantitative terms alone the statistics deals. The qualitative characteristics, the statistics does not deals qualitative characteristics. The qualitative characteristics such as good, bad, poor, old, etc. Which cannot be measured numerically are not statistics. If we express numerically only, we can deals with statistics. If possible, the qualitative characteristics are deals with statistics if it can be expressed in a numerical way. Next, fourth one is enumerated and estimated. So, enumerated and estimated means the numerical data pertaining by field of inquiry can be observed either by enumerating or by estimation. Enumeration means the self-inquiry is a enumeration. The field of inquiry is a enumeration. The estimation is nothing but the wide large area inquiry is estimation. The fifth one is a reasonable standard of accuracy. In case of enumeration and estimation, we have to find the one single value. That single value gives the standard of accuracy. That means we have to round it off. If we take a height, if it comes 11.56 means we can take 11.5 centimeter. Likewise, we have to accuracy value is important in a way. If two students are making same problem, doing same problem, having same answer, that the point value is a difference, this is not considerable for more variations. For example, while measuring the height of trees, fraction of centimeters may be ignored. We can ignore that decimals variations. Next one is predefined purpose. The object of collecting the data should be defined well in advance. Then the data should be collected in a systematic manner through some suitable plan, so as to make the figures free from bias and errors. Otherwise, there will be the waste of time, energy and money. That means if we plan one data, we have to going to collect some data means we have to well prepare, pre-planned the what we have to collect. What are the informations are all we collect. You can create a table. What are the things are we have to collect. You have to create a table and then go. So the pre-planned is very good to collect the statistical collection of data. If we can't pre-plan, we have waste of energy, time, all these are waste. So we have to pre-plan the estimations. So collection of data. Next one is comparability. The ultimate aim of statistical data is for the purpose of the comparative relative study. In order to make valid comparison, the data should be homogeneous. For example, the ages of husband cannot be compared with the wife of ages, because the ages of husband is compared with the ages of tree, it can't suitable, right? Because this is a human being, the trees is a unhuman being, so we can't relate it to them. So that this is the comparability. So comparison must be valid. Valid means if we 10 students ages are compared with another 10 students, this is the valid comparison. Ages of husband is compared to ages of trees, this is invalid comparison. So next we have the statistical methods. So in the statistical methods we have four stages to collect the statistical data. First one is collection of data. Collection of data, this is the first stage for statistical methods. So if we plan for one sampling, census, any one method to collect the data. The methods are sampling, census, these kind of other methods to collect the data. In that method, first we have to collect the data. Next we have to presenting the data. How to present the data means if we collect a raw data, right, we have directly visit some person and collecting some informations. Using that information we have to present the data. How to present the data means in a tabulation form or classification arrangements, in any order we have to present the data, right. Next, after the presenting data we have to analyze the data. How we present, if we skip any informations we have to include. If we had extra informations we have to data. So analysis the data and which the data is adequate or not. First, in analysis of data we have to check the data is adequate or inadequate. So first analysis the data. Next, this is the final step of collecting the data, that is interpretation of data. This is very important stage in statistical methods, because the well-known person, the experienced persons only interpretation of the data. So first we collect the data, presentation of data, analysis data, and then we have to interpretation the data. This is very important stage, because expert only can conclude or conclusion this data. So that interpretation data expresses a overall information about the color data. Next, functions of statistics. It prevents facts in a definite numerical form. That means statistic means it's a numerical statement, so it prevents definite numerical form. Next one is it simplifies the complexity of the data. So statistics simplifies the complex the data. It provides a technique of comparison. It helps in formulation and testing hypothesis. This method is the testing hypothesis method is used for the research scholars use this statistical methods testing hypothesis. This is very helpful to research scholar. Next, it helps in forecasting of future trends and tendencies. So forecasting is also the future trends also predicted using this statistics. Next, it studies relationships, how the relationships are. This is also the comparison. It's a big comparison, comparing between two students or two companies. Anywhere, so studies a relationship between the others. It helps the government also. For in government, the census, populations, country income, these kind of things, it helps to the government. Next, limitations of the statistics. What are the limitations? So limitations means this is only for this, not for this. Already we seen statistics is suitable for quantitative information. It's not suitable for qualitative information. Like that, here also we have some limitations of statistics, that is statistics cannot be applied to individual term. Statistics is a group of facts. It cannot be applied for individual item. It for group of items. Next, statistics deals quantitative phenomena data only, not qualitative phenomena. If we possible to deals qualitative phenomena, it can be expressed in the form of numerical statement only. We can deal the statistics methods. Next, statistics laws only true on an average. It is used for only an average, not for the regression correlation. I did the statistical laws only true on an average. Statistical results are uncertain. It can be give some predictions only, right? Statistical data may be incomparable. Sometimes it can becomes incomparable because of inadequate data. Next, incomparable means already we seen one example, ages of tree and ages of husbands, it's incomparable. So we have to choose a suitable comparison between two kinds. Next one is statistics is liable to be misused. So statistics may be misused because it's a collection of data. Some collection of data means the data is inadequate. We assumption we predict if one represent the table as 2005 to 2010 productions, company productions data is represented. That representation have inadequate data. There must be a liable to the misused. And the collection of data. In first stage in statistical method is collection of data. In that collection of data means the assembling for the purpose of a particular investigation of entirely new data, presumably not available in published sources. So published sources, which are the sources are not in published sources, we have to directly go and collect the data. That is the collection of data. So data means data refers to the facts, figures or information collected from a specific purpose. For if we take populations of the India, for that purpose we have to, what data we going to collect. So that is the data. The sources of collecting data either from, we have two sources, that means primary sources and secondary sources. First we see primary data sources, how we in primary source how we collected data. Primary data is collected by a researcher from first hand sources using methods like surveys, observations, experiments, questionnaires, focus groups, interviews, etc. Using these methods we have to collect the data. Surveys means census, observation means experiments means we have to wait and experiment the data. Questionnaire means if we frame some questions and then distribute it to other people and getting the questionnaire to consolidate that question. That is the analysis of presentation of data. So we have collect some 50 members to collect a questionnaire means we have to first present that what are the answers as all we have gotten. That is under presentation of data. Next, focus groups, interviews, etc. like that. This is under primary data. What are the methods collection of primary data? We have two sources, that is primary data source and secondary source. In primary data, how to collect the data? Experiment method. Experiment method, here the researcher examines the truth contained in this hypothesis by conducting experiments. The hypothesis is true or not using experiments through which the data is collected. Survey method, under this method data can be collected by any one or more of the following ways. Service method la following methods, direct personal interview and indirect oral interviews. Using that interviews we can collect the data. Direct personal interview means this method refers to the collection of information by way of investigator own observation without interviewing any respondents. So we directly we go and got the informations particular person, which person we have to interview, that person's a direct personal interview means one-to-one interviews, that is direct personal interviews. Next, indirect oral interview means in this interview method a lot of questions related to the proposed study is prepared and the answer for this questionnaire obtained from the respondents. So this indirect oral interview means not one-to-one, it can be that person's questions is asked from another persons, nearby persons asked that persons, the particular person's questionnaire is asked from nearby persons, some relative persons, that is indirect oral interviews. In direct personal interview means one-to-one, which person we want the detail, you can go and ask that person only, is direct personal interview. Indirect oral interview means we can collect information from others. Next one is information through correspondence. Information through correspondence means here that the investigator to correspondence. So that is the information through correspondence. Under this method, the investigator appoints local agents or correspondents in different places to collect information. These correspondents collect and transmit the information to the central office where the data are processed. Newspaper agencies generally adopt this method. Information through correspondence means the head investigator is one person. They allot to the work to his under persons. So the under persons are collecting the data and given to the head of the investigator. This method is used for newspaper agency generally adopt this method because they have the news reporter, right? So that the editor person and then the news is going to the head of the newspaper department. Next, mailed questionnaire. Under this method, the questionnaire is sent to the respondents with a covering letter to fill up the questionnaire and send back within a specified time. Questionnaire means some set of questions are typed and given to the respondents to fill these questions and send back within the time. This is the mailed questionnaire. If we apply one interview, they call by interview call for, they tell send your resume within the time. This is the mailed questionnaire. Using application form is also available in portal. You have to fill that application and send within a time. This is the mailed questionnaire. Next, through schedules. In this method, the data is collection is filled by research workers or enumerators. In this questionnaire method, there is no scope for direct personal contact with the respondents, but in this method, there is direct personal contact of the respondents with the enumerators. Here, the investigator respondents not with the direct dealing is with the enumerators only. Next, what are the advantages? These kind of methods are collecting from primary data. What are the advantages in primary data? Means more responsible because we go straight and ask the information, so more responsible. Accuracy of data is also accuracy because the detail is collected from one person, so the accuracy of data is correct. So supplementary informations also we can collect. If directly go and investigate one person, we got more informations, right? So in online we can collect what are the questions asking, they give the answers. If directly offline we have to go and ask the question, means we get more information, that is a supplementary information. Next, personal contact. So the personal informations and the personal contact is in advantages of the primary data. Better communications also. In online we give one form, means they don't clarify the doubts. So there is a better communication to collect the data. And first new information can collect in primary data, and also it's a more reliable because we go on collect the data in straight. So the data is also more reliable. Another source is secondary source, that is a secondary data. This secondary data is collected from primary data. That means here we have two sources, published sources and unpublished sources. So let's see later. secondary data are not new and original in nature, but primary data is new and first data collected, that is primary data. The data are new and original, this is a secondary data which are obtained from published or unpublished sources. So any sources, any published sources have some details we can get it from. So that is the secondary data, second data. So this is a secondary data. The sources of secondary data is published sources and unpublished sources. In published sources, the official publication of the central and state governments. So these are the collecting some details from each person. So from that publications we can collect the informations. That is the first one. The publications of research institutions, international publications, professional bodies, publication of economic trade journals, reports of various committees and commissions. These are the research institutions. The research scholars can give their details to the institutions. So that way we can collect the information. These are the published sources. This is availed from online Google. We can collect more information from Google, right? So if a research scholar can research some papers that are also available. Some papers are not accessed, that is the unpublished sources. Some institutions published their sources, that is published sources. Unpublished sources means the record cannot be published in public source. Public source, the unpublished sources means the records or informations of individual persons or some institutions cannot be published in public portal, that is unpublished sources. The records of some government and private institutions are not published for various reasons. Such unpublished data may be furnished on request. Next, what is the precautions? Because we have to get from another sources. So that source is testable means only this data is only valid. That publications, that institutions, that sources are not trustable, reliable, it may be give a dangerous one, right? Since secondary data are collected by somebody, some other purpose, the scrutiny of secondary data is essential before using it. While using secondary data, the user should consider the following. So if we collect secondary data, we have to using these kinds. What is first one is the suitability of data. The suitability of data, means if we want to investigate the nature of the people. Nature of the people in Sivakasi. For example, if we take nature of the people in Sivakasi means we have to pre-plan what are in Sivakasi. We have to know. We have to get it from nearby Sivakasi persons. If we get it from Sivagangai, Madurai, their institutions, you getting the information is not correct. So the investigator must ensure that the data are suitable for the purpose of the present inquiry. What we presently inquiry, the data is suitable or not. If you suitable, you can choose this. If not suitable, you can't take it this. So the suitability of the data is determined by investigating the nature, objectives, times of collections, etc. of the secondary data. The suitability means if we need only we can take this information. If not related to our investigation, you don't choose that. So if we choose the information from secondary data for our investigation, this is suitable or not, first we have to check. Next, adequacy and accuracy of the data. Adequacy means if this data is adequate for our information. For our investigation, this data is adequate or not, first we have to find. This is biased or unbiased is also we have to, if it is unbiased only we can choose that data. We can use that data, and accuracy of the data also we have to check, and then you have to we have to collect the secondary data. Next, reliability of data. Reliability of data means the sources, we get the sources is reliable or not. You have to take that. We have to must ensure the agencies that has published the data should be reliable or not, and then you have to collect the secondary data. Thank you viewers for watching this video.